There's a photo you'll never ever see again. Walking the Ropes Creek railway line. That's called a submarine. Now that train there, that's actually at Ropes Creek, which is now called Ropes Crossing. I see those stairs going down over there. That's now a park. And when you go there to Ropes Creek, Ropes Crossing, that's all now they're covered there in houses. And that little platform there and that little bit of ridge pylon's still there. They turned into a park. It's a memorial. And what they didn't tell people is that they used to have double-decker trains and single-decker trains running out there. Now, in this case, that's what they call a single interurban with only one drive motor and one trailer car, used to take the workers out there to the army base. Now, why I'm showing you this video is because right behind this video now is when I recorded back there in May, uploaded where this railway line used to be. You see the car hits a speed hump right at the end of the video before it hit the roundabout. It's where those train tracks here used to cross. And this is it. Now that there, that is Ropes Creek train station. Now that big building up in the back up there on the left-hand side, is now all houses. And over there on the right-hand side where you see the cars are still there. But where that work building is to the right of the car on the far right, that's now a house. And that street's still there. But right here, behind the cameraman, is a roundabout now. And where these train tracks were is actually, in fact, the road that goes into Ropes Crossing. So let's have a little look. I'll sort of try to explain it to you the best I can. I'm laid up, I'm pretty sick, but hey, that's my problem. Now, let's play the video and I'll speed it up for you. That's the name of the video. That's for 1986. Right, now that's all the way up there at Hornsby. Now, just so you know that you understand. So if you're not from Sydney, where's my finger? Hornsby's up here. You get a railway line that comes down the coast, down the Sydney Harbour Bridge down here. It's a triangle. Then you got the main north, which comes down here to Strathfield. To go to Strathfield, the train's got to turn left. Well, here, this train will come down, it'll turn right and go west. Then when it goes west, you'll see the footage just there down on the bottom corner. Then the next shot will be further out over here at St Mary's. Then at St Mary's, you'll see a set of stairs in the background and the road down here at St Mary's train station. Then the train will go over a set of points, over a set of points, over a set of points, and then turn right and go out to Ropes Crossing, out the far west. So first shot here is Hornsby. Then I'll show you where it turns right at North Strathfield into Homebush. It does not go into Strathfield. It's physically impossible. It's rails, not a car. All right? So let's have a look. Oop, I jumped a bit too quick. Right, I'm already there at St Mary's. Right, okay. This is where I used to work. This is St Mary's west of Sydney. Right, this is coming into Strathfield. Sorry, I did read it wrong. Strathfield is straight ahead. But see the tracks? They're going to turn right. You watch. That big building is still there to this day. So is that one, and that one, and that one. They're still there to this day. This is now used as a goods line when they send the goods trains through Sydney to go up there to go to Newcastle. So occasionally when they used to have a, what we call in Sydney, an interurban train. And he used to come down from the Blue Mountains for the afternoon workers before the coronavirus. And he used to come down the Blue Mountains and it'd pick up everybody. And it was fast for the people to go from the Blue Mountains or Emu Plains as far as Lidcombe. And then it would turn left where this train's turning right to go back up the track where this train just come from. And then it'll go up the coast towards Hornsby, then down over the Hawkesbury River and go up to Woy Woy, Wyong, Gosford, and right up there into Newcastle. So, actual fact, it was a western interurban train that went to the north interurban. So it never went into central. It bypassed and saved people about an hour's travelling time because instead of people going from the west into Strathfield, getting off, going down a ramp, back up another ramp, and then changing over, waiting for another train to go back up to the north coast, they'd actually get on this train in the west and then it'd just swing around that one little set of points, about half a kilometre long, and be able to just turn left and head straight north. So people coming from Parramatta that lived up on the central coast would get home an hour earlier. It was one thing that the government did do right. But now then, since the coronavirus, they stopped it because nobody was catching a train. I don't know if they brought it back or not. I don't think they did. They had changed the government. Gladys Berejiklian was the premier, the transport minister at the time. It was her idea. And when she became premier, the new transport minister, he changed the timetable again. And now they changed the timetable again with this Palaszczuk premier, and it's all gone to shit. So one thing I will give Gladys, as a transport minister, she had the right idea. Even though she was corrupt, she still had the right idea. Anyway, let's continue. Enough of me raving on. So there goes a directly western bound train in the background. See that? That's a train going from the city out to the west. This train's coming down from the north. Oh God, those carriages, they've been going there for years, that white one. The cameraman is holding a great big VHS camera on his shoulder. These are rail workers. Now that is the old Homebush train station. You can still see that there today, and it's all been modernised, and that big steel overhead bridge up there. Now see that platform on the far right? That little platform? That's the first platform ever built at Homebush, way back in 1820. It's still sitting there. It hasn't been used for over 100 and something years, but they never ever took it away. That's the original first platform when they built the train out from Central, when they first started building the Sydney railway system. I learned that because I worked there at Homebush one day and the station master told me about it. Right, now let me see where I am here. Oh, right, St Mary's. Here we go. Now let's go out. Now here's Brian. Now back just a fraction. You see those steel bars? That's St Mary's train station. See those triangles? There's the stairs there at St Mary's. There's the signal box is still there. Here we go. That's where now the Metro Rail's coming in there on the left. It's at Mary's. And I tell people at Rad's Crossing, you used to have a double-decker train. And they don't believe me. They think I'm an idiot. Now that's the straight ahead. That will take you to Warrington, to Penrith, to Lithgow, Mount Victoria, and eventually over to Western Australia if you go straight ahead. Now, the overhead wires here have been removed, and these two tracks alone are now being used to store Pacific National's bogies. Now, but all the overhead wiring structure is gone. They ripped it all out. Right? This is when it was still an army base. Yes, that's army ground on the left and on the right. Now, I don't want to get a copyright, so let's just speed this up a little bit. I can hear my mate Jack there having a good laugh, so no. Now, I'm going to pause it here right in a second. Any locals in Sydney, that's Sims's scrap metal. That's right, that's Sims's scrap metal. That's where they send out all the trains to be chopped up. See the set of points? That's where they used to run them in. And they chop them up. Now up here, I'll show you where now Dunevitt Road is that never used to be there, and people don't believe me. That's why when you drive down, it says Christie Street, and then there's a big bridge. I filmed the kangaroos from on top of a bridge there one day. That bridge was built after this train stopped running. So right, the train line goes down past the end of Christie Street, then they closed down the railway line, ripped it all up, and then they closed it down, took part of the track out, then they built Dunevitt Road over the railway line. See? Sims's scrap metal. That's all the army base back then. Right, now, right here, see the bend there? Right, let's back it up a fraction. That right there, right now, right down below, in front of the cameras, is now Dunevitt Road. Yes, people? Because if you look down there, in that picture, sorry, I've just lost my lens. I don't know what's going on, this stupid thing. Right. There's the bend in the track way up ahead. And that there now is Dunevitt Road. Goes across there, big main road, and it goes up over a bridge. And this is where that big concrete block is, sitting right here, where I had that video and I say, oh, Pacific National moved in. And then when you go across the road, all that there's been removed, everything's been ripped up. Those power poles, everything's all gone. Now we're turning left. There's the old... See, now we're coming around into Dunevitt Station. And then on the left, you'll see there's a railway line that goes out to the demolition area where they blow up all the dynamite. That's where my brother used to work. So there's a big round bend. There it is over there in the background on the left. So that little railway line just there, on the left-hand side there, that's the railway line. I used to drive down there with my father. We'd take carriage loads of dynamite. And I said there one day they bought a carriage load of dynamite and they left it at St Mary's train station down there at the goods shed, and I rang up my father, and he come racing back over here on this track on the left-hand side, and he come racing back out there, right back over to St Mary's train station, grabbed it, and then brought me out here with him, and then we went up there with it, and then we come back down, we shuttered it down there, and then we took it out round past the St Mary's golf course. Oh, sorry, Dunhabit golf course, and then took it out there, and then my brother blew it up. This is way back in the 1978. See, there's the tracks, you can see them. That was called the demolition track. Those two tracks on there on the left-hand side. Now you can still look on Google Earth. You'll see this old Dunhabit railway station. Now, see the boys standing up there on top? That's right. They're waiting to catch the train to go home. Because they weren't, but that was actual railway army workers. They wait up there because they wait up there, have a smoke, because this train had to go to Ropes Crossing. Then I come back over there on the right. Now, if you ever look over there on the right-hand side, you see there's people standing over there waiting for the same train to come back. There's only 6 trains out there a day. So that's why they're standing over there. People are so honest, they could have got on the train for a ride up to Ropes Creek and then come back, but they didn't. They just sat over there on the platform and they just talked. They were army workers. It was an army railway station, so it didn't matter. Right? And just check out the station. So the guy's even talking about the service out here. That's what he just said.
You'll see here they have the Sydney wagons that run around here and jump into Sydney side.
Right, now let's just speed up. Then we go around the left. Now that is the current Forrester Road. And up here is the level crossing of Link Road. Links, Links Road. It's still on the map there today. See, there's the Link Road roundabout over there. And if you have a look there, you can still see there's the cars coming there. That's Link Road. People don't realise that it was a double-line electric train line. They just don't get it. My camera's stuffing up anyway. Now that little bridge there, that's actually Ropes Creek. Let's go back and have a look at that. Right, hang on. Let's just sort of bring this out. Well, the people that drive out there at Ropes Creek that are now watching this video, Americans, that this wouldn't mean anything, but people live around the Ropes Creek line, I'll explain to you where things were. Right, so Mary's league's on the right. Right, Links Road, there we go. Now that's where the big railway lines are sticking up there in the grass, just there. Right, that was the gates into the army base. So that building there, you weren't allowed past that unless you're in the army. See all the cars? Then you go up and here's Ropes Creek. Which is now where the big new road bridge is. So what people don't get, when they drive out there now, out to Ropes Crossing, the old road was a single road either way, up and down over a hill. Now when you drive out there, you got two lanes coming out, trees in the middle, and two lanes going in. And look where the tree line is and the fence line. Now the fence line on the left is still there. So actual fact, when you drive out to Ropes Crossing from Forrester Road roundabout on the corner of Links Road, you are actually driving on this railway line corridor. And then on the right there where the car is up there on top of the hill, that is what they cut down. And that's why when you go out there, you see that big hill has been cut away. People don't realise, you've got to look for that hill. That's now covered in houses up there in this video. In my next video, I come down at the end of the video, I come down to a roundabout. And the car hits a speed hump. That's where this railway line used to be. Now this is Cochrane train station. Anybody recognise it? That's where I just come out of on the next video. That's where I just come out of the park that's going to now be a nature reserve. The road now comes across here because if you watch, you've got to remember that Cochrane station is before the roundabout. And you also got to look at the height of the terrain and also the distance between Cochrane and the old Dunevitt train station. See the bend in the road? You know when you drive out there and you go around the roundabouts around there at Ropes Creek, Ropes Crossing? That's all they did. They filled all that in. Made it level. That now is all houses. The Liberal government's great wisdom was, let's rip it all out. That's accelerator on the selector on the electric train. Now, you realise we are here. Right, you are now gone past. You have actually gone past. My component shut up. You've gone past Coles at Ropes Crossing. and you've gone through the houses that are up there on the side of the road, right? Where these train tracks are now, in this video, they are now houses, right? And you're now driving on that last bit of the road before the roundabout, before Dunabbit train station. You are further north than what you think you are, because that is Dunabbit train station. Right here, this is the roundabout, which is now up there at the old Dunabbit railway station. That is Dunabbit train station. We are now on the northern side of the roundabout, where it is now today, some 40 years later. If you would have told these train drivers back then, in 40 years' time, this is going to be a roundabout, they would have laughed at you. Because I said, why would you want to rip all this infrastructure up? Well, bloody Liberal governments. Now, let's have a look. We've got a siding over here with a platform. We've got a line here that goes into the right-hand platform. Another crossover is back to take us onto that other platform. So in other words, let's just go back a little touch. So you can go from the left line over to the right, or if you park up there on the left platform, when you come backwards, you can cross over back onto the right line. Let's have a look. See? Now, see that building there? Now, out there now, you see there's a wire cage. It's got all the old points levers there. If I'm not mistaken, that should be a bloke sitting on the ground, or that's the old weight scales for parcels. Now, just remember that building there, and then I'm going to show you a map, a street view map. And it's going to be that building there where those levers are now. That building got burnt down, and they bent the levers over. They heated up in the fire, and they bent over to one side. Because when the bastards hit it with the fire extinguisher, with the fire hose, they were so hot that when they hit them with the fire hose, it bent them over. And of course, then they cooled in a bent over position. Now, you see that big overhead bridge? And there's a big railway bar. See that big railway beam up there in the middle of the screen? That's still there to this day. That one right there. See that big beam there? That's still there today on Street View. Now, see all those big buildings there at the end of the platform? And look, there's all factories. That's now all houses. So let's have a look.
Road straight, but there's no
Now there we go. That's when you better leave Robes Creek to come back. Now, where the train stopped, he blew the air out of the tanks. Right in front of that end of the platform, there was the road, and there's a video of me standing there, walking up there, and I said, oh, these rails here are phony rails, and I'll walk up there onto the old platform. So that's it there. So let's pause this, and I'll line up another phone, because I can't do it on the big TV set, because I am sick. At least I'm giving it a go. I'll try to keep my channel occupied. So anyway, yes, Mr. Omino is not well. But anyway, let's not put that on record. Right, now there's St Mary's train station. Try and do this one end. Right, so what happens is, you come up there. Oh man, I'm really doing this rough as guts. I really am. I am quite ill. But this is how much has changed. See? There's no overhead wires there anymore. See, they put a quarry thing in. That's now been taken away. There's the old railway line down there. Then you'll see Sims' scrap metal. Right, so there's Christie Street there now. And look, there's the railway line. And Sims' scrap metal. Now there's Christie Street. There's the old railway line. See, there's South Creek. They blocked it off. Then the train went straight ahead. Then you remember the train went round the bend. See, it goes around the bend. It's all overgrown. This is all, remember that all the overhead wires and the clack clack and the squeal squeal of the wheels, and that's it there. You watch. This is Dunevant train station. There it is there. There's the walkover bridge where the people were standing. That there, that grey looking stuff, that's the platform. It's overgrown there with grass. And the grass down below, that's why you can't really see it. But can you see the lines? Now you can sort of see the platform. See, there's a concrete slab. That's where those people used to be standing, right there. That's why I mentioned those people. And there's where all the tracks used to be. They used to go there to the disposal line. See, there's Christie Street. And then it comes up here, then it goes around a left-hand bend. I'll just narrow that down a bit. Yeah, I'm very sick at the moment. Sorry, people. Now can you see the railway corridor? Let's just go back over there. So there's Dunevant train station. Right? There's Dunevant train station. That's the overhead walk bridge. It's still there to this day. Then it comes around here. The train come round through there. There's St Mary's Rugby League Club. Right, so there's Forrester Road. That's the railway cutting there. Right where my thumb is. You see it's only got the trees there? Look, Lynch Road. There's a level crossing. That's where the two train tracks used to go across. That's where the gates were. Remember I said you can't get in there because of the army gates. Right? And they had seen the four-wheel drive parked on the side there. See, that's why, see that little road there? That's why that's there. That was part of that road that they used to patrol the boundary of the gate, of the gatehouse. That's why that was there, see? So that's where the gatehouse was. Then the train went over a little tiny creek bridge. Remember, I said, oh, look, there's Ropes Crossing Creek. See? Then they built another road there. Right, so where's Ropes Crossing Creek? You say, all right, where is it? There it is there. Ropes Creek. That's it there. That's where the train used to go over the creek. See, there's the creek. And that's why I said, those two lanes there on the left-hand side going out, that is the old railway crossing. That's where the double-decker train used to run, right where the words Ropes Crossing is. That was the two train track rails, and on the right hand was that two single lane roads. So what they done on the right, I think you're with it. Some people don't get it. On the right was two single car lane roads. On the left was the double railway lines. So now that is a double road out and a double road in to St Mary's, right? So that's what I'm saying. The road into Ropes Crossing is the old railway line. Then remember the train went round a right-hand bend, come into Ropes Crossing. And then it turned left, and then it come up there to Dunebbit. So right about now, there it is. You'll see it any second. You'll see where it turns left. Unless I've got it wrong because I'm reading this thing. Right, see? See how they build all the big new roads? Well, that's where the train used to go. And then the train went there through these houses. That's where the train used to go. And then, you see the road on the right now? Look. And then it swings back to where the railway line used to be. This is where the railway line used to be. And then you hit the roundabout. And look. There's the old train station. There it is there. Right there. See? Look, they've even put a set of fake rails in. And now, where that is there, is that picture right there. Look, there's a bend in the platform, and there's the rails. It's a little curve on the station. Straight ahead is that roundabout. Now, in that picture on the TV there, you are looking south. Right? We're looking down. I'm trying my hardest to do this. I really am. So basically, the train sitting there, there's the platform. There's the shed. See? So what they did, that curvature bit there of the platform where it comes around the bend a bit, they cut it off. Do you understand it now? They've cut that end bit off. See, that goes around there to the right. Right? They cut it off. Because here, it only shows the station. This is history for Sydney people. If you're really wondering what I'm doing. See, look. There's the building. Look how much platform there is. Right? And then remember I said the big buildings at the other side is now all houses? Look at all the houses. Right, so all you people live there at Wiseman Circuit and Gilroy Street, and you see that little building there. Let's show you what your house That there is, there's the end of the platform, right? Right there. See the big steel bar going across the station? Look. See the big shadow? Right, let's have a look. To that big bar? There it is right there. Let's go back a fraction. Just so your brain can get it into your head. Right, see that big bar? See all the factories in the background? And there's a road going up there. Where's the road? There's the big bar. There, that there is that there. That big factory. Let's have a look. Let's see if I can get a Google Earth on it. There's the walkway. There's the high rise. We're looking at the front of the stairs. Now you're looking at the back of the stairs, and look, it's a street. So that there's the old stairs, look. So those people living up there, that's right. Anyway, now here's something for peace of mind to let you all have something there to think about. You know when you go to Coles at Rapps Crossing? Yeah, good old Coles there. My brother used to work there. 40 feet below the floor level, down through a set of tunnels, and they used to work with the high explosives. That's right, they used to come into a room, strip off and shower, so they had no static electricity, wear paper clothing, and then go down 40 feet below the level of the Coles Now supermarket some 40 odd years ago, and he'd go down there and play with high explosives about the size of a pea, and it had enough power in that to blow a car to pieces. So where you do your shopping, you never know what used to be there 40 years ago. Well, I'll tell you now for a fact, right when you stand there in Coles, way 40 feet down below, my brother used to stand down there playing with high explosives. And then what they did, when they decontaminated the area, they had to dig the whole hole out and they'd put clean soil in there and keep rolling it and compressing it until they filled it right up until they made the ground level again, and then they built Coles on top. So there is nothing underneath there. So just from point of interest, that's why when you stand in Coles, in the middle of Coles, you can say Mr. Hominoid's brother was 40 to 50 feet down below. Now you're going to say, why was he down there? Because if that place went off with a boom, it was then contained in, like, let's say this drink bottle. Say my brother's down the bottom and it goes boom and you got 40, 50 feet. Which way is the blast going to go? It's going to go up. You get it? He was standing way down here as a little tiny human being. If it went boom, it will go up. You see? And that's why he had to be so far down. My brother risked his life for his country because what he used to do is get rid of the old Vietnam War ammunitions and everything else, all the high explosives. But that's classified. You're not supposed to know about it, but the 40-year time limit's up, so now I can quite honestly tell you. Anyway, for me, Mr. Hominoid, hope you enjoy that. And those signal levers there and those stairs, yes, me, Mr. Hominoid, used to sweep them. Yes, I worked those levers, I pulled those levers, and I cleaned that station way back in 1978 and 1979. And like once before on this channel, I've shown the paperwork to prove it. Because I was based at St. Mary's train station. So there you go. So for me, Mr. Hominoid, hope you enjoyed that. See you later. Little bit of history that now you know. So when I pass on and I'm dead, like here, old Brian, he's now been dead now for 30 years. So let's watch Brian. Let's see if you can work it out. Look.
Anyway, Brian, you guys probably blame you. What's that with your idea?
So that's the road that you now drive on. And that there is all houses. You know the park? See that road there? See that road there? That's the road. When they took all that there away, they filled it all in. They didn't need that bridge anymore. They took the bridge away, levelled it up, and that's now the roundabout when you come out of Ropes Crossing towards St. Mary's and you turn right and you see that big building over there with a big tall yellow tower. What was that big yellow tower? Do you know? I do. That was my brother's office building. That's why I said in the video, following this video, that was my brother's office. And if you look at it, where that tower is, that's where they used to hang up and dry all the fire hoses off the fire trucks. That's all it was. It was not a gun tower. No, it's a fire hose drying tower. Now, if you stand there and you now look at where the tower is, you can see how they're taking that bridge away, and that was Cochrane Station. That roundabout right there, opposite Coles, is Cochrane. Look, there's the road that goes to the tower. When they took the railway line away, they didn't need a bridge, did they? So they took all that stuff there away and just re-levelled it. They only put the bridge there to get the cars over the train tracks. Well, once they took the train tracks away, there's no need there for a bridge. That's where the roundabout is. Now does it make sense? That is the roundabout, where you look at that big yellow tower. Anyway, for me, Mr. Hominoid, I bet you didn't know that. Like, share, and subscribe to Mr. Hominoid, and you'll learn a lot more about St. Mary's that you had no idea about. Because my family worked there, I worked there, my brother worked there, and my father was a train driver there. Now, here's one for you. Next time you drive out along Links Road, and you go right up there to Dunedin Golf Course, and you'll see those pair of rails in the road. Yes, me drove a train out there on my father's lap as a 10-year-old with 10 carriages full of high explosives. Because Dad said, well, if we blow up, we blow up, son. So what's the difference if I'm driving or you're driving? And I said, okay, thanks, Dad. And I drove the train over those rusty rails, over the top end of Links Road, right out there near the Dunedin Golf Course. So when you stand there and you get out of your car, you look at those rails and say, Mr. Hominoid, he drove a train over here some 51 years ago. See you later on the recording at the time of this recording. See you later, Mr. Omedoid. Bye. Like, share, and subscribe if you like. Share it around over social media. Tell your mates about it. I am the living history of that railway line. I'm one of the last surviving guys that worked on that train track. So if you want to hear more about St Mary's Railway Line, Ropes Creek Line, did you know that the railway line from Glenfield to Leppington to the new airport was designed to come in there from the international airport that they're building now, was supposed to join up with this railway line? Yes, it was supposed to come in there and come in round the back of St Mary's High School and come into St Mary's train station, and then a person could catch this train line, and when the army base was gone, the Ropes Creek line was meant to be extended over to Ferry Road, Windsor, along the side of, now come on, you have a guess. You look where I just showed you. Let's back it up a little bit. We're going to educate you people. I won't ever tell you this again when I'm dead. So may as well tell you now. Right, can you work it out? Let's see if I can brighten this picture up a bit. Right, so that goes down that side street. Now look how far down it goes. That was electrified up there, right up to the other side of that housing. See, this map here comes back on this other old little phone, this heap of shit phone. Now you try now. Okay, so you know where that big factory is there. Your houses are, right? Righto. Now let me get this thing here off Google Earth. Right. Now let's see if your brains can get it. Because you don't realise it. How close you are to Wilmot. Now this phone's got absolute stuffed picture colouring on it, but anyway. Ropes Creek Station. Railway line goes straight ahead. And look where it comes out to. Palmyra Road and Stony Creek Road. There it is there, look. Well, that's what I've been trying to tell you. Ropes Crossing. Oh, hang on, what's this stupid? Now can you see it? What I said. You know when you get out there and you go down Stony Creek Road? See that big gap on the right-hand side? Now that they're building all the houses out there, look. That was meant to be the railway line corridor. And it was meant to come down there, around the edge of South Creek, come down here, see? 9th Road, 4th Road, and then it was meant to come into the back end of Shane's Park. So the map turned around on me. Well, look, you just go and use your own imagination. Stupid thing, hang on. Right, okay, so I fixed the phone. Right. So, if we're there at right, there's Ropes Crossing, right? There's the old train station. And the railway line, that's the station there, right? That's it right there, that yellow square. And the railway lines went right up there to where the word E is on the word edge. And then it was meant to go straight ahead. Look what it hits. It hits Stony Creek Road. And then the railway line was supposed to follow Stony Creek Road. Now, you all know when you drive down Stony Creek Road, you look where the two fence lines are. You got one fence line on the left, far over there to the left, and the other one far over there on the right. Now, this is why they had it planned to build a railway line. Because now look what they're building out there. Houses. Look at it all. This was planned back in 1886. And then the railway line was supposed to come around the edge of South Creek to go over to Windsor. So when you follow South Creek around and it goes over the Blacktown Richmond Road, oh, look at that, Blacktown Richmond Road. How did I know that? Right, when you see that up here, see that creek there? That's South Creek. Go and have a look yourself. There's the dog training centre. Where's that? That's here somewhere. There's a dog train. See, auction something or other. And there's a dog training centre, right? And then it was supposed to come over to Richmond Road. And then it was meant to come around this embankment of South Creek. It was supposed to come along there, the railway line, on the left-hand side of South Creek. And then when it comes down there, it meets up there with Fairy Road. Now, let's see how far wrong I am. Where's Fairy Road? Where have I got myself now? Bit hard trying to do this. Look through a phone at another phone. So there's South Creek. Where am I? Got myself lost a bit. Oh, trying to hold the phone up too close. Look down through another phone. This is not funny. Right, there we go. And that's where it's meant to come out, right about here. So there's South Creek. Where's Fairy Road? I lost it. I'm trying to look through a phone and... How the hell am I? Maps turned around on me. No wonder I'm confused. That's where the railway line was supposed to come down here. See? Fairy Road. That's the railway line corridor. See it? Can you see it now? See, they've still got the fence line over there and the road's over here. Look, and then as soon as it hits the level crossing, one railway line, look, one railway line was going to go that way like that, around to the right, and the other one was going to go around there to the left. So the train can go from St Mary's to Richmond or St Mary's to Mulgrave, back up to Riverstone and back into Sydney. Anyway, that's enough of that. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. So, yes, Liberal government, they stuffed you over, people. You did have a train there at Ropes Creek. And yes, it was supposed to go through to Windsor. I seen the plans when I worked as one of the leading bosses in the railway archives in State Rail Authority way back in 1995. And my father told me that railway line there was supposed to get extended. And he said, well, for some reason they didn't bloody do it. They should have bloody done it. And now look exactly what he said. They'll probably end up ripping up the line. Well, guess what? Yeah, they ripped it up. And now you are now living, if you live over there, you're now living where the railway lines used to, and should have been. Used to be and should still have been, and you shouldn't be living there. You should be off to the side. You would have had an electric train service at Ropes Creek through to Windsor, through to Richmond, or Ropes Creek through to Mulgrave, through to Riverstone back into Sydney, or St Mary's, Ropes Creek to then go down, go into St Mary's and go to Penrith, or go into Blacktown. So that's what the Liberal governments did way back in the 1980s. So never forget that. The Liberals rip up railway lines. And that's what they're doing right now. They ripped up the railway line from Casino to Wollumbar, and they're going to turn it into a cycle footpath instead of building it from Casino to Wollumbar and onto the Coolangatta Airport to get rid of all the traffic jams. When you fly from Sydney to Coolangatta and then you got to go rent a car to drive down to Byron Bay or go down to, say, Lennox Head or Brunswick Heads or Mullumbimby or Wollumbar, yes, that's right, people, over 133 kilometres of train track has been ripped up, and the other 80 kilometres of train track never got built. It's another typical thing. They build the railway line so far, and then they don't complete it, and then 80 years later, they rip it all up, and then they don't want you to know about it. And then you say, why are there so many cars on the road? You can pay high fuel prices and everything else. All this infrastructure was already there at Ropes Creek. So, yes, you should be pissed off with your local governments because, as I say, there's no such thing as an honest, sensible, intelligent politician. They all think about themselves. How much money did Nick Groiner make out of getting rid of this railway line? You know why? Because Nick Groiner, when he was a former Premier back in 1988, when he got this here railway line all ripped up, you know what he did? He got on the board of directors of Borderstone Road Construction Company, and they built the majority of the roads in Ropes Creek, Ropes Crossing. So Nick Groiner, the former Premier, who closed this railway line down and got rid of it, then got on the Borderstone Board of Directors, and it's all public record. But they know you won't go do the homework and go look it up. So you go look up Borderstone Road Construction Company, and you see Nick Groiner, who now still lives at Wallara, over down there off Jersey Road. Yeah, that mongrel is the guy that took your electric train service away. A bloody Liberal. Anyway, me, Mr. Ominoid. Like, share and subscribe. See you later. Another corrupt politician, the same as Gladys Berejiklian, got done for giving $1 million away for a gun club. The same as Barry got done for doing a bottle of bloody plonk. Oh, mate, they just never stop the Liberals. Did you know that ICAC was set up by the Liberal government of New South Wales under Nick Groiner to catch corrupt politicians? And guess who? The only politicians ever been caught by ICAC have been Liberals, and Liberals set up ICAC. Not one Labor politician, not one Greens, and not one independent politician has ever been corrupt. It's always been the Liberals. And now, look at our former Prime Minister ScoMo. Look what he's doing. Dealing coal. He's dealing in uranium, back-ended markets out west. But it makes me sick. Anyway, I hope it makes you sick because it makes my stomach twirl. Anyway, love and keep happy. Be happy with life. Move on. This is the bloody society we live in. See you later, me, Mr. Ominoid. You have a good day. See ya. Bye.